Hello everyone, I thought I'd do a video on one of my more recent projects I picked up. This is kind of a, this is kind of a junky project. This is a Series 3, or what we call a facelift Jaguar XJS Coupe. It's a 94. These cars, the coupes are pretty rare, I guess. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I'm paying too much for it, but you know, for the price and the fact they're rare, I'll pick it up. It's high miles, I guess. If you consider 150,000 high miles, it is a 6-cylinder. I would prefer a V12, but again, there's very few of those made, coupe V12s floating around. So this car's got an interesting history. It was sold in Florida, and I pulled the Carfax on it, and it went from Florida to Colorado to New Mexico, and then spent some time in Nevada, in Las Vegas and Sparks, Nevada. And more recently, in the last few years, it ended up here somehow. Well, this car came to me on a car trailer because it wasn't running very well, and the doors wouldn't even close. The windows don't work, the doors don't close. I mean, this is a true junker. But you know, my attitude on this thing is, well, let's get it running, and let's just not worry too much about cosmetics, and let's just run it, you know, just kind of like on some of the Motor Trend shows, take a junky car and get it running and just run the crud out of it. That's kind of my theory on this one. As you can see, the seats are so bad that I use the good old-fashioned duct tape for now, because this is my junkyard Molly this is my junkyard dog Molly. She is a Boston Terrier French Bulldog mix, and she gets into everything, and she's stealing my tools, she's stealing my car parts, anything that's on the ground in the garage, I'm taking, Dad. And she loves to be out here with me, but she is a big pain in the rear, I tell you what, but she's a cutie. Oh, Molly. Anyways, back to this car. I'll go on another side to get to the engine. So this is a 6-cylinder, like I talked about. When I first got this home, oh my gosh, it was smoking so bad that it was just like a cloud behind the car. So I'm like, well, it's 150,000 miles. I might have to rebuild this thing. But I went to another route and started dumping additives in it. And I got 2 or 3 additives I like to use that tend to work really well. So far, most of the smoke's gone, which is really cool. I put new plugs in it and spark plugs and all the stuff. And I kind of figure once I get some of these other problems fixed, I'm just going to drive it around and see if the smoke goes away. Keep dumping additives in it. If the smoke doesn't go away, again, I haven't rebuilt one of these 6-cylinders yet, but I can't see how they'd be any worse than the V12s I rebuild. So I can rebuild it. I was also thinking it'd be really cool to grab an XJR supercharged 6-cylinder and throw it in here, but I talked to somebody like, man, it's going to be a nightmare, not putting the engine in, but figuring out the the engine management system and getting it plugged into this car. So that might be a bigger project than I want to mess with. Also, could put a V12 in. I might just keep this stock with the 6. I mean, just for cruising around, it's got enough horsepower. It's not going to win any races, but what the heck. So the alternator is also bad on this, so I got to get that swapped out. I got new alternator and new belts and stuff. Probably need to flush the cooling system, and I think we'll be ready to go. As far as the inside of the car and the door handles, this car came with no keys, and that's kind of a problem. And the doors don't shut. I mean, literally, the striker was off on this door, and you can see all the terrible corrosion in there. And so right now I'm refurbishing the door lock systems, and they're in pretty bad shape. But what do you do when you don't have keys? Well, you go online and you find somebody that has a set of keys and a set of door locks. And also, right now this car starts with a screwdriver, so I got a new ignition tumbler, and we're going to throw that in. I should have all the doors fixed and ready to go today. This window on this side wouldn't roll up and down, so I found a new window motor online, swapped the window motor out, window goes up and down now. It was the all the stuff in there was pretty corroded, and I started just shooting it with PBR blaster and got everything broke free. But you, like I said, you can just see how bad the corrosion is in there. And there's little wheels in there that have bearings in them, and those get so gummed up that they quit rolling. So you got to clean those wheels and bearings up too. So I got that pretty good. One other problem I had is one of the new door handles I bought didn't have the little C-clip right. I keep getting my finger in the way. Little C-clip right here. The stupid thing fell out, and all the guts from the tumbler went everywhere. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do now? You know, now I only got one door lock that's going to work unless I figure out how to rekey one of these things. So I actually did. And it's not as hard as you think. So if we go over here and keeping my finger in the way, we got a tumbler here, and it's got got a tumbler, and it's got a little window, and that tumbler goes in here, and it's held in by a clip. Okay, and then you got these little tumbler things here. You can see what I'm talking about. Those all go in a certain order into the tumbler to match. And if you look on these, if I can get close enough, these are awful tiny. You can see there's little notches in them. This has 2 notches. So basically, to match the key, you have like a no notch tumbler, then you have a 2, then you have a no notch, then you have 2 1s, and that matches the key. And so it's really tedious, but you can actually buy these and rekey them to whatever. If you know what the original sequence is, you can buy these and rekey them for these keys. Another thing I noticed on these keys is these are so simple. You can dang near take a blank key and take a file and make your own key, make a new key. I'll experiment with that later, but this isn't a hard project rekeying these, but boy, it's a tedious one. You got to be really careful. There's a lot of little pieces. Anyways, that concludes the green XJS 4-liter coupe project that I'm working on, and I plan on as I get things fixed and try it out, I will provide some more cool videos, and I'm going to do some more videos on this white Jag. All I'm doing is waiting on a steering rack. This is the new V12 motor. I got kind of sidetracked. The steering rack was leaking, so I had to order one. And steering racks for these XJSs are really, really hard to find. So I actually found one. I paid way too much for it. It was supposed to be here Saturday. It's not here yet. Hopefully Monday. Then I'm going to get this car on the road and do some more videos on it. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.